What if I told you that one number has quietly controlled the future of Canon cameras for years, and now that number is about to change everything? For decades, the number 4 has carried a strange superstition in Japan. Many brands avoid it. Many buildings skip it. And in the camera world, Canon has danced around it. We saw the R3. We saw the R5. But no R4. It was almost like the name itself was forbidden. Now the whispers are getting louder. The leaks are getting stronger. And Canon is reportedly ready to break the curse with the EOS R4, a camera that could completely shake the mirrorless market. This is not a small update. This is not a minor refresh. This is Canon stepping directly into Sony's territory and challenging the high-resolution throne. Breaking the curse. Canon EOS R4 enters the game right. Now the mirrorless battlefield is clearly divided. Canon dominates speed with the R1 and R3. These are the cameras built for sports, wildlife, and action. On the other side, the R5 has been the hybrid king. It shoots strong video. It captures detailed stills. It is a powerful all-rounder. But there is one area where Canon has not fully dominated, and that is extreme resolution. Sony has been sitting comfortably with its 60-plus megapixel bodies, especially in the commercial and landscape world. Billboard photographers, studio professionals, fine art shooters. They want every pixel they can get. They want files that can be cropped aggressively without losing quality. And this is exactly where the rumored EOS R4 enters the conversation. Filling. The resolution gap supply chain leaks suggest something massive. The Canon EOS R4 could feature an 80-megapixel full-frame sensor. Not 60. Not 65. 80. That is not a small bump. That is a statement. An 80-megapixel sensor changes how you shoot. It changes how you frame. It changes how you deliver files to clients. Imagine standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon. You take one wide landscape shot. Later, in post-production, you crop into a small section of that frame. The detail is still there. The sharpness holds up. You can print huge. You can create multiple compositions from one single image. That flexibility is priceless for professionals. Massive. 80-megapixel sensor explained, but here is the problem with high resolution. Historically, more megapixels meant slower performance. It meant lower burst rates. It meant rolling shutter issues. It meant massive files that choke your buffer. Canon knows this. They have seen how the market reacts to slow high resolution bodies. That is why the R4 is rumored to use a stacked BSI CMOS sensor design. A stacked sensor improves readout speed. It reduces rolling shutter. It allows faster continuous shooting. And if the rumors are true, the R4 could push close to 20 frames per second in RAW. Think about that. 80 megapixels, 20 frames per second. That combination would destroy the old idea that you must choose between speed and resolution. Stacked sensor and fast shooting. To handle that amount of data, Canon will need serious processing power. We are likely looking at next-generation DIGIC processors with dedicated AI accelerators. Real-time noise reduction, smarter compression, faster buffer clearing. When you shoot 80-megapixel RAW files, the camera must analyze millions of pixels instantly. It must clean noise. It must maintain color accuracy. It must preserve dynamic range. This is where AI becomes critical, and Canon has been quietly improving its deep learning technology over the last few years. AI-powered processing for high-resolution files noise is the biggest fear for high-resolution cameras. Smaller pixels often mean more visible grain, especially in low light. Wedding photographers know this pain. Event shooters know this pain. You want detail, but you also need clean files at high ISO. The R4 is rumored to integrate deep learning noise reduction directly into the RAW pipeline. That means the camera analyzes the structure of the light hitting the sensor before the file is even written to the card. If Canon pulls this off correctly, ISO 6400 could look closer to ISO 800 in terms of cleanliness. That is huge. That means massive files without the traditional noise penalty. Deep learning noise reduction, then comes stabilization. At 80 megapixels, every tiny movement matters. Even slight hand tremors can reduce sharpness. Micro vibrations become visible. Canon reportedly plans to upgrade the in-body image stabilization system to around 8.5 stops when paired with RF lenses. That is not just marketing. That level of stabilization protects your detail. It ensures that your 80 megapixels are actually usable. Because what is the point of extreme resolution if your images are slightly blurred? Upgraded. In-body image stabilization autofocus is another key area. Canon's dual-pixel AF2 is already one of the best systems in the world. It tracks eyes, it recognizes animals, it detects vehicles. But with 80 megapixels, there is room for evolution. Rumors suggest the possibility of quad-pixel autofocus. Instead of splitting each pixel into 2 photodiodes, quad-pixel technology splits it into 4. That allows cross-type focusing across the entire sensor, horizontal lines, vertical lines, low-contrast textures. Everything becomes easier to lock onto. Autofocus would not just track, it would predict. It would stick to your subject with confidence that rivals flagship sports bodies. Quad-pixel autofocus technology video cannot be ignored. An 80-megapixel sensor easily supports 8K video. That opens the door to oversampled 4K with incredible detail. It also creates the possibility of internal RAW recording and professional codecs like XF-AVCS. Content creators, documentary filmmakers, and commercial shooters want flexibility in post. They want strong color depth. They want manageable compression. Canon has been careful not to cannibalize its Cinema EOS line, but the R4 sits in a unique position. It could become the ultimate hybrid for creators who need both extreme stills and serious video performance. K. Video and creator-friendly codecs. The physical design matters too. The R5 is compact. The R3 is large and built like a tank. The R4 is rumored to land in the middle. Slightly larger than the R5 to handle heat and processing demands. Magnesium alloy body, strong weather sealing, built for professionals who shoot in rain, dust, and extreme environments. And finally, possibly, a full-size HDMI port. Anyone who has used micro HDMI on professional shoots knows the frustration. A full-size port signals that Canon is serious about real-world usability, premium build, and ergonomics. There are also whispers about a new high-resolution electronic viewfinder, potentially around 9 million dots. That would make the EVF look almost optical, crisp, bright, natural. When you are working with 80 megapixels, you need to see your composition clearly. You need confidence before pressing the shutter. High-resolution electronic viewfinder. However, extreme resolution demands extreme lenses. Old glass will show flaws on an 80 megapixel sensor. That is likely why Canon has been refreshing RF prime lenses with advanced optical designs and new VCM motors. The R4 is not just a camera, it is part of a larger ecosystem strategy. Canon wants professionals invested in high-res RF lenses that can fully resolve this sensor. Optimized lens ecosystem. Now let's talk about price. This will not be cheap. It cannot sit above the R3 in price, but it must sit above the R5 line. Industry speculation places it around $4,500. For 80 megapixels, stacked sensor performance, quad-pixel autofocus, and serious 8K video, that EMA price could actually be competitive. Medium format resolution in a full-frame body with fast burst shooting is a powerful value proposition. Expected pricing and value, but there is a hidden cost. Workflow. 80 megapixel files are heavy. You will need faster CF Express Type B cards. You will need more storage. You will need a stronger computer. Editing these files demands modern hardware. The R4 is not for casual shooters. It is for professionals who prioritize image quality above convenience, workflow considerations for professionals. This camera fills a strategic gap. The R1 focuses on speed. The R5 is a hybrid all-rounder. The R4 becomes the specialist. In a world of 8K displays and massive commercial prints, resolution is currency. The ability to crop aggressively changes how photographers think. A 400mm lens can effectively become an 800mm crop. A wide environmental portrait can transform into multiple compositions. The flexibility is creative freedom. Specialist camera for high resolution needs Canon breaking the superstition of 4 is symbolic. It shows confidence. It shows maturity in the mirrorless era. The company is no longer just competing. It is targeting specific market segments with precision. The EOS R4 is not about replacing the R5. It is about dominating the high-resolution space that Sony has controlled for years. Canon's bold move in mirrorless market. Now the big question. Is 80 megapixels overkill? For some people, yes. For professionals printing large, shooting commercial campaigns, or needing extreme cropping flexibility, absolutely not. It could be the perfect tool. Megapixels, overkill or essential? If you are on D. Like this kind of deep analysis and future tech breakdowns, make sure you subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Let me know in the comments what you think. Would you invest in the Canon EOS R4? Or is this simply too much resolution for your workflow? I want to hear your honest opinion. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Subscribe, share, and hit the bell icon.